going to play a game called Hide the Beats. Our first contestant, stuffed mushrooms. Yum. Our second contestant, actually does not have any beets in it. These are basically meatloaf in onions. I don't remember which culture this is from, where you do this, but it's basically meatloaf in onions with spices. It's tasty. Contestant number 3. We had risotto in a box. And it's not in the box anymore. It's over there. But the risotto called for some water. So that water is the beet water from me boiling the beets. And contestant number 4 is none other than... Sorry, y'all. The compost bowls in the background. Is none other than the brownies. So, yep, I am absolutely going to take the beets that I boiled, and they have been pureed. I also pureed them with the 2 eggs that the recipe requires. I'm going to omit the water. I don't really know what to do about the vegetable oil. So we'll see how these turn out. Shh, don't tell Will.
So, tell us about this amazing food.
All right, so we have basically meatloaf in onion.
Ooh.
It's got a name because there's a culture that does that, but that's what it is. There's other tasty things inside the meatloaf that came from the garden, but I don't remember what they were. I think I put mint and parsley and oregano in there. This is a radish relish, also with random crap from the garden because we had jalapenos and okra. We had like 3 tiny okra, so the 3 tiny okra got pickled and they're in there. And there's only 1 jalapeno in there because jalapenos and I can't judge each other very well. Then there is beet risotto. I boiled the beets, and this is the beet water left over, so I use that beet water to basically color the risotto. I don't know that it'll taste much. And those boiled beets are in the stuffed mushrooms, because I decided to make stuffed mushrooms because I love you.
Yay, I love mushrooms.
And the brownies are in the oven. They'll be done in like 40 minutes, because everything else was in the oven except the risotto, so...
Thank you so much. This looks amazing. Talk to y'all in a bit.
Before I forget, the green onions were in the meatloafy stuff. So all the ingredients were there, I promise.
So, green onions in meat in more onions. Excellent. So, I really like the flavors of everything.
Yay!
So the meatloaf, the stuffed mushrooms, and the risotto all had different flavors. Mm-hmm. To a drastic degree. The mushrooms were very garlic forward and delicious because I really like that strong punch of garlic.
They were almost too garlicky for me, which is a lot of garlic.
They were amazing. The meatloaf was really good. It was nice and the word that's the opposite of dry. Juicy
Moist?
is not moist. Moist is the word I was looking for. I was going to say, juicy is not the word you use for meat like that, but yes, moist. So it was really good, but it had that onion and green onion and herb flavor, which, again, was different, but went really well with the other. You had the relish on top.
Yep.
Made out of the radishes.
That went together much better than I expected, because I basically didn't know what to do with the radishes, and I was like, relish! Because the meatloaf is kind of Mediterranean inspired, because I looked at kofta recipes, but then I didn't want to actually make kofta.
That's what the meatloaf tasted like.
So I was like, Mediterranean kofta pickles go with that. I'll pickle the radishes, that's what I'll do.
So yeah, I gotta admit that relish was perhaps the best of a good meal.
It worked out surprisingly well.
So, yeah, that was really good. And the brownies with the beet juice?
Yeah, so I didn't actually tell you how much. So, there were beets in the mushrooms, there were beets in the risotto, and there were beets in the brownies. Where did the majority of the beets go, Will?
The brownies.
You sound very confident in this.
Yes.
That is where the majority of them are.
So that actually worked out pretty well. It was interesting. It, like I said to you before, it tasted a little bit like the red velvet cake.
Yeah.
Where it's, chocolate and, is that raspberry?
So it's actually just chocolate and food coloring. Red velvet cake doesn't actually have any...
I thought there was another something, but
It's a special kind of cocoa powder, so I always forget if it's supposed to be Dutch processed or not Dutch processed. There's an entire Good Eats episode dedicated to this, so I should know this, but I don't.
So maybe it just tastes like the mental tricking yourself of this is red, so it should taste like it's got that je ne sais quoi.
So adding beets to brownies tastes like red. Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, beets taste a lot like red.
This is true. This is true.
And His Highness is very jealous because everything was delicious.
Yes, we can't quite... Well, he's down here, hanging out, trying to
Get her!
look sad.
Get her!
Oh, there we go. Now he's coming. Nope. Now he's hanging out.
Well, from our family to yours, thanks for watching.